Hello everyone, this is Johnny. In today's video, we are going to talk about if statement. So if statement is used when you want to execute a piece of code, only when a certain conditions have been met. The syntax for the if statement is the following. First, we type if, and then followed by a logical conditions, and then we need to have a column. In the next line, we need to make sure that we have an indentation, and then finally the code we want it to be executed whenever these logical conditions have been met. So in this table, I have listed the 6 most commonly used logical conditions, and then also their syntax examples on the right. This is just for your reference. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Now let's do some examples. Let's say a equals to 35 and b equals to 30. We can write an if statement saying that if a is less than b, then print out this sentence, a is less than b. Now because a is actually greater than b, therefore this condition is not met, and then therefore this code is not executed. That's why we don't see any result. But let's say if we want to change a equals to 20, now that it printed out a is less than b. We can also do some manipulations inside the if statement. So for example, if a is less than b, then we want to update the new value of a to be the original a plus the original b. In this case, the new a will be 50 because that's what 20 plus 30 is. Now let's talk about elif and else. So elif is a shorthand version for else if. It just basically means that if you want to check a number of if statement is sequential, then first time you use if, but then following that you will need to use else if, or the abbreviation version of ELIF. So in this case, if a is less than 10, then we will print out a is less than 10. If a is not less than 10, or if a is greater or equal to 10, then we check the following condition, else if a is less than 20. If this condition has been met, then we will print out a is greater or equal to 10 but less than 20. Similarly, if a is still greater than 20, then we can check the next conditions. In this case, a less than 30, if this condition has been met, then we will print out a is greater or equal to 20 but less than 30. If all of the above conditions have not been met, then we will use this else statement. This is basically saying that if every condition has not been met, then I will execute this default code. Okay, so in this case, when I say a is 15, it prints out a is greater or equal to 10 but less than 20. If I say a is 5, then it will print out a is less than 10. If I say a equals to 50, then you will say a is greater or equal to 30. Other Boolean expressions also work. So in the above examples, I'm only showing you the most commonly used logical condition, which are less than, greater than, or equal to. But as long as an expression that returns a Boolean values, it can also work as our logical condition. So just for an example, let's set a equals to a string Johnny, and then this j in a will return a Boolean value saying that if this letter j is inside the string a, then it will return true. If it is not, then it will return false. So we can actually use this as our logical conditions. If j in a, then we will print out string a contains the letter j, else we will print out string a doesn't contain the letter j. So string a Johnny contains the letter j. If we delete the j in a and try again, then string a Oni doesn't contain the letter j. Our next topic is the compound conditions. Specifically, we use and or to make a compound conditions. Over here I list a few examples. So when A is equal to true, B is equal to true, A and B will also be true. A or B will also be true. But if A equals to true, B equals to false, then A and B will be false, but A or B will remain true. If A is false, B is false, then both A and B is false, and A or B is false. You can easily check by just typing true or false, which is equals to true. Or you can try true and false, which is equals to false. So let's see some examples. Let's say I have two variables, one that tells me what day is today, and then another one is tell me the hour. So if day is equal to Saturday or day is equal to Sunday, that means I'm not going to work. If day is equal to Monday and hour is between 10 and 11, I have a doctor's appointment. Else if hour is greater than 8 or hour is less than 16, it just says that I'm working. If all of the above conditions have not been met, then I'm not working. So let's try an example. Tuesday at night, I'm not working because Tuesday at night doesn't pass any of the conditions. So we use this statement inside the else condition, which means that we are not working. Let's try Monday at 10. We have a doctor's appointment. Let's try Monday afternoon. We are working. Let's try Sunday afternoon. We are not working. You can also do a nested if statement, meaning that you can have an if statement inside another if statement. So in this example, I'm saying if the person equals to Johnny and if the day is Sunday, then Johnny will play tennis. Else, Johnny doesn't play tennis. But if the person is Jenny and if the day is Saturday, then Jenny will watch the movie. Otherwise, Jenny will not watch the movie. So if I say person equals to Johnny, day equals to Sunday, then Johnny will play tennis. If I change Johnny to Jenny, Jenny doesn't watch the movie. If I change the day to Saturday, Jenny watches the movie. Lastly is the past statement. So past statement is used whenever you don't want to do anything inside an if statement. So let's see some example. This piece of code is exactly as above. The only difference is that instead of Johnny play tennis whenever it is Sunday and the person equals to Johnny, I'm typing a past statement over here, meaning that I'm not going to do anything. So whenever person is Johnny, day is Sunday, nothing will print it out because we are using this past statement. If I change it to Saturday, then you'll say Johnny doesn't play tennis. And that's pretty much conclude all I want to talk about for if statements. Let me know if you have any questions. You can leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.